I always believed that Ariba was one of the few people in my life I could trust blindly. We met during college orientation. She was kind, funny, and always knew how to make everyone feel comfortable. Within weeks, she became my closest friend. The type of friend who finishes your sentences, remembers your favorite snacks, and defends you in every argument. At least, that's what I thought. Things started to feel strange the day I noticed she knew something she shouldn't have known. I had told no one about a private message I received the night before, something personal I wasn't ready to share. But the next morning, she looked at me with a smirk and said, "Don't worry, secrets don't stay hidden forever." I laughed it off, thinking maybe she was joking. But the way she said it, it didn't feel like a joke. From that day, little things kept happening. She would appear in places she wasn't supposed to be. She would react to conversations I never had with her. She knew things about me that only someone watching closely could know. I kept convincing myself I was overthinking. Until one evening, I walked past the college library and saw her sitting alone, typing fast on her phone, whispering, "Don't worry, I'll send the rest of the information tonight." When I stepped closer, she panicked and hid the screen instantly. Her hands shook, her voice broke, and her eyes avoided mine. That was the first moment I realized. Ariba wasn't just pretending to be my friend. She was living an entire secret life behind my back. And whatever she was hiding, I was about to uncover it, even if it destroyed everything. After that night near the library, I couldn't sleep. Every time I closed my eyes, I kept replaying the moment she hid her phone, the fear in her eyes, the way her voice trembled. It was like she was doing something she knew could destroy our friendship, or maybe my life. The next morning, I acted normal. I didn't want her to know I suspected anything. But she was different, unusually quiet, avoiding eye contact, smiling too much like she was forcing it. During lunch, her phone buzzed twice. Each time, she quickly flipped it face down. "Who's texting you?" I asked, pretending to sound casual. She froze for 1 second too long. "Just, my cousin," she said, forcing a smile. But I saw the notification before she flipped the phone. A name I had never heard before. Admin, phase 2 upload. Why would a cousin be saved as admin? And what kind of upload? Something was wrong. Badly wrong. That day after class, she walked to the washroom and left her phone on the table by mistake. It buzzed again, this time louder. I shouldn't have looked. But something inside me whispered, "You need to know." The message preview sent a chill through my entire body. "We received everything. Continue collecting her data. Payment will be transferred tonight." Her data. Her payment. My heartbeat felt like it stopped. Was Ariba being paid to spy on me? Just then, I heard footsteps, her footsteps, coming back. I put the phone down fast, but not fast enough. She noticed. The look she gave me wasn't the look of a friend. It was the look of someone who knew I was getting too close to the truth. And in that moment, I realized something terrifying. Whatever she was involved in, it wasn't small. And I was already in the middle of it. Ariba didn't say a word at first. She just stared at me, her eyes sharp, analyzing me like she was trying to calculate how much I knew. "You didn't touch my phone, right?" she asked slowly. Her voice was calm, but her hands were shaking. I swallowed hard. Why would I? She didn't answer. She just grabbed her phone so fast it scraped against the table. Then she walked away without even finishing her lunch. For the rest of the day, she didn't text me once. No jokes. No memes. Nothing. That night, something even stranger happened. At exactly 11:47 p.m., I received a message from an unknown number. "Stop asking questions." That's it. Just those 3 words. I froze. How did they know I was suspicious? Did Ariba tell them? Was someone watching us? Before I could reply, another message popped up. "You're not in danger, yet. Just stay away from her phone." My throat went dry. Yet. I tried to call the number, it was switched off. I tried messaging back, it wouldn't deliver. I felt my hands trembling. I kept telling myself to calm down, but a voice inside me screamed, "This is bigger than Ariba. Someone else is involved." The next morning at college, she acted like nothing had happened. She smiled. She talked. She laughed loudly at stupid jokes. But her eyes, they kept scanning the room. Watching the doors. Checking who passed behind us. Almost like she was scared now. At one point, she leaned closer and whispered, "If anyone asks you anything about me, say nothing. Please." "Why?" I asked. Her lips parted as if she wanted to tell me the truth, finally. But then her phone buzzed. She looked at the screen, and immediately turned pale. Without saying a word, she stood up and walked away, fast. I watched her leave, feeling the fear rise again. Whatever was happening, it had reached a point where Ariba couldn't hide it anymore. And I had just received my first warning. A warning I couldn't ignore. I followed Ariba. I didn't plan to, but something in her face, that sudden fear, pushed me to move. She walked out of the cafeteria, down the corridor, and into the old computer lab that barely anyone used anymore. The door wasn't fully closed. I could hear her breathing, fast, shaky, like she was trying not to cry. Then I heard typing. Curiosity took over fear. I stepped closer and peeked through the small glass window. Ariba wasn't texting. She wasn't calling anyone. She was on a computer, opening a folder. A folder with my name on it. Tasaur_A_records. My stomach twisted. Inside the folder were dozens of files, screenshots of my social media, copies of my messages, even audio recordings. Recordings of my calls. Recordings I never knew existed. And then I saw something that made my heart stop. A subfolder named, Phase 3, Personal Access. What did that even mean? Suddenly, Ariba covered her mouth with both hands as if she was about to scream. She leaned closer to the screen, and I saw a message pop up in the corner. Upload everything by midnight. Final payment after Phase 3. She whispered to herself, I can't do this, not to her, not anymore. Her. Was she talking about me? Before I could process it, she turned off the screen and rushed out of the room. I stepped back just in time, pretending like I had just walked into the hallway. My heart was pounding loud enough to echo. She didn't notice me this time. But the moment she left, one thought hit me so hard it made my legs weak. If she had a folder with my data, who else did? And more importantly, what exactly was Phase 3 inches? And why did it feel like I wasn't supposed to survive it? I couldn't stay quiet anymore. I needed answers, and I needed them now. When classes ended, I saw Ariba heading toward the parking lot, walking fast like she wanted to escape before anyone could stop her. I followed her. Ariba, I shouted. She froze. Slowly, she turned around, and the guilt on her face was impossible to hide. We need to talk, I said. I can't, she whispered, shaking her head. You don't understand. No, you don't understand, I cut her off. I saw the folder. On the computer. The one with my name on it. Her entire body stiffened. For a moment, she didn't breathe. Then she whispered, You weren't supposed to see that. So it's true, I asked, my voice cracking. You've been spying on me. She looked down at her hands, trembling hands, and said softly, I didn't want to. I swear I didn't want to. Then why? I asked. Ariba took a deep breath, as if she had been holding this truth inside her for too long. They paid me, she whispered. But it wasn't supposed to be like this. At first, I was only supposed to observe you. Just normal information, your routine, your classes, the people you talk to. My chest tightened. Who paid you? She glanced around like someone might be listening. Then she leaned closer and said, I can't say their name. If I do, we'll both be in danger. My heartbeat kicked hard. Danger. Why me? Why her? I stepped closer. What is Phase 3? Tell me the truth, Ariba. Her eyes filled with tears. That's when they stop collecting your information. She whispered, voice breaking. And start taking control of your life. I felt a cold shiver run down my spine. Control. I repeated. Control how? She shook her head desperately. I can't tell you here. They're watching me. They're watching us. Please, just trust me this one time. Meet me tonight, 9 p.m., behind the old canteen. I'll tell you everything. And if I don't come. She looked straight into my eyes, terrified, honest, desperate. Then Phase 3 will start sooner than you think. All day, one thought kept repeating in my mind. What exactly was going to happen in Phase 3? Ariba's warning kept echoing in my head. Her shaky voice. Her guilty eyes. By the time evening came, I wasn't sure if I was more scared of meeting her. Or scared of what would happen if I didn't. At 9 p.m. sharp, I walked toward the old canteen area behind campus. It was darker than usual, the streetlights flickered, and the entire place felt abandoned. Then I saw her. Ariba was already there, hood up, arms wrapped around herself like she was freezing, but it wasn't cold. It was fear. When she saw me, her eyes widened with relief. You came, she whispered. Tell me everything, I said. She took a shaky breath and looked around to make sure no one was watching. I wasn't hired randomly, she began. They chose me because I was close to you. They knew I could get access to things no one else could. I stared at her, shocked. Who are they? Ariba hesitated. Even saying a single word felt dangerous. It's a group, she whispered. Not one person. They collect people's personal data, then use it to control them, blackmail them, or ruin them. Once they start phase 3, they fully take over your online accounts, your identity, everything. My heart sank. But, why me? I asked. She looked away, voice trembling. Because you're important to someone they want. Someone you don't even know you're connected to. What does that mean? I demanded. She stepped closer. They needed a way to reach that person, so they targeted you. Before I could ask more, her phone suddenly buzzed. She looked at the screen and instantly turned pale. I asked, who is it? Her lips trembled. It's them. The message on her screen read. Meeting detected. Phase 3 begins now. My breath caught in my throat. Ariba grabbed my arm with shaking hands. We have to leave, right now. Why? I asked, my voice breaking. She looked straight into my eyes and whispered the words that made my blood turn cold. Because they're coming for you. Ariba pulled me into the shadows behind the canteen building, her grip tight, her breath fast and uneven. Ariba, what's happening? I whispered. They tracked my location the moment I turned on my phone, she said. They know we're together. That message was a warning, they're already close. I felt my heart hammering inside my chest. Who exactly is coming? I asked. But before she could answer, we heard footsteps. Not one pair, not two, multiple, slow, heavy, coordinated. Ariba's eyes widened. We need to run. We took off through the dark alley behind the campus, the gravel crunching under our shoes. My legs were shaking but adrenaline kept me moving. Behind us, the footsteps grew louder, faster. This way, Ariba whispered urgently, dragging me toward a narrow passage between two old storage rooms. We squeezed inside just as a group of 3 figures passed by. They weren't students. They weren't staff. They moved too silently, too confidently, like they knew exactly what they were doing. My breath caught when one of them stopped right outside our hiding spot. Ariba clutched my hand, mouthing, "Don't move." The figure scanned the area with a small device, some kind of tracker with blinking blue lights. If he took 2 steps forward, he would see us. The device beeped. He paused. I felt my entire body turn cold. After a few seconds, seconds that felt like an eternity, the device went silent again. The man muttered, signal shifted east, and walked away. We both exhaled shakily. They're using a tracker. I whispered. They use everything, she said. GPS, hacked apps, your own phone camera, even college routers. They have access where normal people don't. Why didn't you tell me earlier? I asked. Tears welled up in her eyes. Because if I warned you before phase 3, they would have gone after my family. I felt my anger, my fear, my confusion all mix into one overwhelming storm. So what now? I asked. Ariba wiped her tears, stood up straight, and said something I never expected from her. Now, we stop running. We fight back. I stared at her in disbelief. How? I asked. She looked at me with a kind of determination I had never seen before. Because I stole something from them. Something they desperately want back. And with it, we can destroy everything they built. We ran until we reached an old, abandoned storeroom near the back gate of the campus. Ariba slammed the door shut, locked it from inside, and leaned against the wall, breathing hard. Okay, tell me, I said. What did you steal from them? Ariba pulled a small flash drive from inside her sleeve. It was black, scratched, and taped with a piece of red sticker. This, she whispered, is everything. What's on it? Names, transactions, audio recordings, videos, every person they've targeted, every payment they received, every assignment they gave. She paused. Including you. My stomach twisted. And if they get it back, she continued, we disappear. Forever. I felt a cold wave spread across my skin. So they don't just steal data, I said quietly. They destroy lives. Ariba nodded. That's why phase 3 is so dangerous. Once they take control of your identity, they can make you look guilty of anything. Fraud, blackmail, threats, crimes you didn't commit. You become the perfect shield for their operations. And all this time, I was the bridge, I whispered. They wanted someone close to that important person. Someone they could trap. Someone like you. I sat down, feeling everything collapse inside me. What do we do now? I asked. Ariba knelt in front of me, her voice steady but urgent. We expose them. Tonight. How? I have a contact, she said. Someone outside the group. Someone who's been trying to shut them down for a long time. If we give him this flash drive, we end everything. And if they catch us first. She held my hand for the first time since the friendship began. Then we won't survive. Suddenly. Bang. Someone slammed into the storeroom door. We both froze. A deep voice shouted, Ariba, open the door. Now. My blood ran ice cold. They found us, I whispered. Ariba grabbed my wrist. Back window, go. We ran to the small dusty window at the back. Ariba pushed me through first. I landed outside on the grass. She followed, handing me the flash drive before climbing out. The door burst open behind us. Flashlights cut through the darkness. Run, she shouted. We sprinted into the night through bushes, across the empty ground, hearts exploding with fear. Behind us, the voices grew louder. But we didn't stop, because this time, we weren't running to hide. We were running to end it.